Hi everyone, welcome to Mathly. Today we are diving into hierarchical clustering, a powerful unsupervised learning algorithm used to uncover hidden patterns in data. Unlike other clustering methods, hierarchical clustering creates a tree-like structure that helps us understand relationships between data points at different levels. And the best part, I'll show you how to visualize and analyze clusters step by step using Orange data mining software. Let's get started. Imagine you're a librarian organizing thousands of books in a massive library. Each book has details like genre, author, publication year, and popularity. Instead of sorting them into a fixed number of categories, you want to group them in a way that reflects their natural relationships. For example, books on machine learning might be closely related to data science, which in turn is somewhat related to mathematics and statistics. This is where hierarchical clustering comes in. It doesn't just create groups, it builds a hierarchy that shows how different categories of books relate to each other. At a broad level, you might have fiction versus non-fiction, but as you go deeper, you can see more specific relationships like science fiction versus fantasy, or historical fiction versus contemporary fiction. Hierarchical clustering is widely used in document organization, image recognition, genomics, and even social network analysis. Let's see how it works in action. Hierarchical clustering is a bottom-up, agglomerative, or top-down, divisive method that groups data points based on their similarity. In our previous video on k-means clustering, we saw how clustering works when we specify the number of clusters in advance. But what if we don't know the ideal number of clusters beforehand? That is where hierarchical clustering comes in. Instead of predefining the number of clusters, it builds a tree-like structure, a dendrogram, that shows how clusters naturally form and merge at different levels. Let's break it down step by step. Calculate similarities. First, we measure the similarity or distance between every pair of data points. This can be done using different distance metrics like Euclidean distance or Manhattan distance. Merging or agglomerative clustering. We start with each data point as its own individual cluster. Then we iteratively merge the two closest clusters based on their similarity. This process repeats until all points belong to a single cluster, forming a hierarchy. Splitting or divisive clustering. Less common. We start with one large cluster containing all data points. Then we recursively split it into smaller clusters until each data point stands alone. Build the dendrogram. As clusters merge or split, a tree-like structure called a dendrogram is formed. The height of the mergers represents how dissimilar the clusters are. The higher the merge, the less similar the clusters. Choose the number of clusters. To find the best cluster groups, we cut the dendrogram at a certain height based on our needs. This gives us well-separated clusters without needing to define the number in advance. Hierarchical clustering is great when you need to understand relationships between data points and explore how they naturally form groups. Now let's take a look at how we have set up our workflow in Orange data mining to perform hierarchical clustering on the mall customers dataset from Kaggle. So I've imported the mall customers dataset from my local machine. This dataset contains information about customers such as their age, annual income, and spending score. We'll use this data to analyze customer segmentation using hierarchical clustering. After loading the dataset, I have used the data table widget to inspect the data. Here we can see the key attributes: customer ID, a unique identifier for each customer; gender, specifies whether the customer is male or female; age, the age of the customer; annual income, the income of the customer in thousands of dollars; spending score, a score between 1 and 100 assigned to the customer based on their spending behavior. The dataset contains 200 rows, making it a great resource for customer segmentation analysis. Before applying hierarchical clustering, we need to measure how similar or different each customer is from the others. That is where the distances widget comes in. In this case, we have selected the Euclidean or normalized distance metric to calculate the pairwise distances between data points. Normalization ensures that all features contribute equally to the distance measurement, preventing attributes with larger numerical ranges from dominating the clustering process. These calculated distances will then be used in the next step, where we build the hierarchical clusters based on customer similarities. Now that we have computed the distances between data points, we send them to the hierarchical clustering widget. This is where the actual clustering happens. The algorithm constructs a dendrogram, and this tree-like structure visually represents how the data points, in this case customers, are merged into clusters based on their similarities. The farther apart the 2 points are in the tree, the less similar they are, and the closer they merge, the more similar they are. As you can see, we have set gender as the annotation, allowing us to observe how male and female customers are grouped based on similarities. Looking at the dendrogram, you can see that male and female customers form their own subclusters, indicating that gender plays a significant role in the clustering process. At the leaf level of the dendrogram, we can see individual data points representing customers. Here, some leaves contain pure clusters, only male or only female, while others may contain mixed gender clusters. The mixed gender leaves typically occur in cases where other attributes such as purchasing behavior or preferences show stronger similarities than gender differences, leading to some overlap. However, in most cases, we see that same gender customers tend to be closer together, reinforcing that they share common characteristics in the dataset. Next, we change the annotation to age to examine how age influences clustering patterns. In the dendrogram, we notice that customers of similar age groups tend to be clustered together, indicating that age-based similarities are significant. For example, younger customers may form subclusters due to similar shopping habits, product preferences, or spending patterns. Older customers may be clustered together, reflecting common purchasing behaviors within their age group. Some mixed-age clusters may appear when other attributes such as purchase history create stronger similarities than age alone. By the insights of this age-based clustering, businesses can develop age-specific marketing strategies, tailor products to different customer segments, and gain deeper insights into customer behavior across age demographics. And also by analyzing these dendrograms, we can choose an appropriate number of clusters for further insights. Also, we can select pruning methods to extract meaningful customer segments. Lastly, I have used the MDS or multidimensional scaling widget, which helps reduce the dataset's dimensionality while preserving the relationships between data points. This technique is particularly useful for visualizing high-dimensional data in a more interpretable 2D space. The Optimize section provides 3 key options to refine the visualization. PCA uses principal component analysis to initialize the points in a way that retains the most variance from the original dataset. Randomize randomly positions the points before the MDS algorithm begins, leading to different visual representations each time. Jitter slightly shifts the points to reduce overlap and make dense regions more readable. Let's see how MDS clusters data. When I click Start, the MDS algorithm iteratively adjusts the positions of the points to reflect their pairwise similarities. Points that are more similar move closer together, forming clusters, while points that are dissimilar spread apart. In this visualization, the points represent customers with gender, blue for female, red for male, as the color attribute. The clusters that emerge can indicate groups of customers with similar behavior or characteristics. The edges connecting points further highlight relationships within the dataset. With this, the workflow is complete. By analyzing the resulting dendrogram and clusters, we can see how different data points are grouped based on their similarities. This allows us to identify meaningful structures, segment data effectively, and gain valuable insights. Hierarchical clustering is a powerful technique used in many industries to uncover hidden patterns in data. Let's explore some real-world applications where it plays a crucial role. Customer segmentation in marketing. Businesses use hierarchical clustering to group customers based on their purchasing behavior, demographics, and preferences. Instead of defining a fixed number of customer groups, companies can explore different levels of segmentation through a dendrogram to identify high-value customers, frequent buyers, or discount seekers. Genetic research and bioinformatics. Scientists use hierarchical clustering to analyze genetic data and group genes with similar expression patterns. This helps in identifying gene families, understanding diseases, and even discovering new biomarkers for medical treatments. Document and news article clustering. News agencies and search engines use hierarchical clustering to organize articles and documents based on similarity. For example, articles covering the same event from different sources get grouped together, allowing users to explore related news efficiently. Anomaly detection in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity experts use hierarchical clustering to detect unusual behavior in network traffic. By clustering similar activities, it becomes easier to spot anomalies, such as a sudden spike in access attempts or unauthorized logins, helping prevent potential cyber attacks. As you can see, hierarchical clustering is widely used in fields ranging from marketing to healthcare and security. Its ability to dynamically group data without pre-specifying cluster numbers makes it an essential tool for discovering meaningful patterns. And that is how you can use orange data mining to understand and visualize hierarchical clustering. We explored how the dendrogram helps us see relationships between data points, how clusters merge step by step, and how this technique is useful for uncovering patterns in various fields. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mathly for more data science tutorials. Comment below with what you would like to learn next. Thank you for watching and see you next time.